The topic we will discuss now will be Excel Scenario Manager. The Scenario Manager is a tool that can be used to determine different projected outcomes of data by changing different cells within a worksheet model. So for example, if I look at what we have on the screen, if I'm looking to borrow money to buy a car, I have down $20,000, and assuming it's 5% interest that I need to pay over a period of 4 years, my monthly payments we can easily determine from the payment function. Let's look at that. Is $460.59 each month. However, I may want to decide that I cannot afford $460 and I'd like to look at other possibilities. Maybe I would like to borrow then maybe $15,000 to see the difference in my monthly payments. Or else maybe I would change, if I had a choice, the term of the loan from 4 years to something other than 4 years in order to modify my monthly payment. And thirdly, the interest rate, if I can somehow adjust that from instead of 5% maybe to 4%, maybe my payments will come in to the appropriate spot which I could then afford. Each one of these are called scenarios, and we should remember that all that our scenarios are just different versions of the same worksheet, with each different version using a different set of input values in those cells. We'll see how this works in a few seconds. Before we actually do it, let's just remember that in general Excel is great and it's a wonderful tool for what-if analysis because you can change results throughout the worksheet by editing one single cell. But the disadvantage to this process is that it isn't always easy or convenient to restore the original values, especially when you're changing multiple cells. So now through Scenario Manager, we will be allowed to substitute values in a number of cells and save that condition under unique names. And by invoking a number of scenarios, we can easily demonstrate to customers and managers the impact of different events or possibilities. Let's see how this works. We first highlight the cells that we're looking to possibly change. Remember, either the amount of money borrowed or the interest rate or the term of the loan. We then go up to where it says data, and we go down to the what-if analysis. We've already seen the goal seek. We will see the data table soon, and we are looking now at Scenario Manager. Clicking on that, it says there are no scenarios defined. We're going to define a scenario, in other words, give it a name. Click on Add. Now it says, what is the name of the scenario we'd like to use? We can give it basically any name we wish. Just for example, let's just call this car loan 1, and let's click on OK. Right now you see the values in there are those values that are in the cells that we highlighted, the $20,000, 5%, and 4 years. Let's see what happens if I change the amount borrowed from $20,000 to $15,000. And I'll click on OK. Now we have created this scenario. We do not know what the results are yet. However, if I choose to go to Summary and click on OK, I now see what has changed. The value of $20,000 is now $15,000, same interest rate, but my payments monthly go from $460 down to $345. Pretty good. Let's continue and let's look at another scenario or two. Let's go back to our spreadsheet. Let's click Data. Let's go back to our scenario and we'll go to What If. We'll go to Scenario Manager and we are back to Car Loan 1. Let's add another scenario. Let's call this Car Loan 2. Click on OK. Let's now modify the term of the loan from 4 years to 3 years. Let's click on OK. Let's not look at the results yet, but let's add another scenario. Let's click on Add. And let's change now the amount borrowed from $20,000 to $18,000. Except we're not changing it there. Let's first give it a name. Let's be careful. And the name we'll give it is Car Loan 3. Click on OK. The amount of $20,000 now is $18,000. The interest rate, let's modify that to 4.5%. And let's click on OK. And let's do one last scenario. Let's add last one. Let's call this Car Loan 4. Click on OK. And let's now borrow just $10,000. And let's leave the rest the way they are and click on OK. Let's go to Summary. Let's see what we have. Click on OK, and here we have it. We see by simple analysis that the cheapest $230 would be ideal possibly for us, and we do see that it goes up to almost $600 when we reduce the amount of time from 4 years to 3 years. As you can see, there are many different scenarios, and it is up to you to decide which would best fit before you actually make a loan and enjoy the car that you will be buying. Before we leave the topic, let's just point out a few other little things about examples, etc. A good example of using a scenario might be when you create a family budget. You can make changes to the individual amounts like food, clothes, etc. to see how these changes affect your overall budget. Another excellent example might be in making sales forecasts. You can create 3 different scenarios. One could be the most likely case, second could be the best case, and the third could be the worst case. So in the best case, for example, you may have a sales growth of 10% and expenses might be lower than it would be in a case where it is the worst case, where expenses might be 50% higher. And you may have cost of goods being, again, a little bit lower in the best case, and in the worst case it'll be much higher. So these are things that you can develop and analyze yourself or with other people in the department.